I am forced to perform. I still believe there's a real me somewhere far underneath this act I'm putting on. So if I show who I am, what if they hate what I can never change? And so one more time, I step back onto the stage. I wish I could stop it, but the show must go on. It's time to begin the act.
I'm Megan. I had gotten married in my early 20s. Through a series of events, I ended up finding out that he had been having an affair. The marriage that I had was falling apart, and he didn't care. I still was holding on to a hope that we would fix this. What ended up happening was he had harmed his child. The law gets involved at that point, and I wasn't able to see her from that point on. This child that I had grown to love and raise was gone. After a period of time had passed after my divorce, I had met this guy. Shortly into the relationship, I started to notice some odd behaviors. He was a very manipulating guy who had a lot of power over me. He was very possessive and wanted to make sure that my every move was calculated by him. I wasn't allowed to make my own decisions. I wasn't allowed to do anything without him. Over the time that we were together, I had been brutally beaten and raped repeatedly. I remember standing in my bathroom and staring down at a pregnancy test, something that should be so joyous. I remember being so scared. From the time of 17 on, I had been told that I would never have children, that I was infertile. And I remember thinking, God, is this for real? Is this a joke? Because while I've always wanted a child of my own, I never thought it would happen in this way. And I remember reaching a breaking point because I was going to take my own life that day. And as I was crying out to God, I just remember hearing, aren't you tired yet? Aren't you done doing this on your own? And within that instance, a series of events changed my life. I just knew in that moment I had to trust God. I had gotten connected with the right people who helped me get the law involved, which ended up ultimately cutting all ties completely. God knew exactly who he needed to place in my life at the right time, in the right moment. I had continued counseling with a trauma specialist. I also got connected with Lifehouse counseling through the church. The inner workings and inner healing that began was life-changing for me. So I began to realize my worth and my value. I began to have peace and experience love in a different way that I've never experienced before. I know that God is the ultimate healer, and he looked at me and my child and decided to rescue us. So on August 3rd, 2017, I had my daughter, Finley, and it was truly the best day of my life. We'll go ahead and bring her in now. This is the little blessing and miracle that God gave me. I don't know why this happened or understand it completely. Our situation of what happened is not what defines us, but it's rather the blessing that God chose to give. God can always put us on the path to the best life possible, and we just have to trust him.